So next we will discuss about the engineering design process. What is it? It is a series of steps that engineers follow to find solution to a problem. The steps include problem solving process such as determining your objectives and constraints, then prototyping. The prototype is tested and evaluated. While the design process is iterative, it will follow a predefined set of steps. Some of these may need to be repeated before moving to the next one. This will vary depending on the project itself, but allows lesson to be learned from failures and improvement to be made. So when we say iterative, it is repeated in a closed loop. We are doing something and we are getting an output. The output is not as good as we thought it would be. Therefore, we are designing it again, or we are going back and doing it again. Okay. So the process allows for applied science, mathematical and engineering sciences used to achieve high level of optimization to meet the requirement of the already defined objective. Okay. So the steps include problem solving processes. For example, determining the objectives at the same time the constraints. Say for example, the objective is to develop a smartwatch. So what are the constraints? Okay. First thing is while you are wearing it, it should be able to sense the things. So it should be quick to sense the changes. At the same time, economy is important and it must also survive the different climatic and different conditions where it is being used. Isn't it? So some people may use it in the morning, some people may use it in the afternoon, and sometimes it may be used in the evening also. Throughout the day also it is used. So will it work? So those are the constraints. Then do the prototyping, testing and evaluation. The steps of engineering process are not always followed in a sequence, but it is common for an engineer to first define the problem, brainstorm ideas, then only he or she will create the prototype. After the prototype is created, they will check for all the constraints, whether it is able to satisfy all the constraints, or at least if a trade-off is obtained. After that, if nothing is possible, if you are not able to reach a successful solution, there is no trade-off, then iteration is done once again. So this is a common method of engineering design process. See here, define the problem, brainstorm, research, establish criteria and constraint, consider alternate solutions, select an approach, design a proposal, prototype, test, evaluate, refine the design, create the solution, communicate the result, and define the problem. As we see, it is a closed loop process where we keep on checking and doing the next one. Now we will see can you see there are 12 steps. We will see each and every step in detail. So first one, what is defining the problem? What problem needs to be solved? So a smart watch we are making. What is the problem involved? Now people are suffering from so many diseases. People are obesity is one of the common condition that everyone is facing, and because of that BP fluctuation is there, blood pressure, and because of that cardiac issues are there. So mm, we need to keep a watch on all these things, right? So that is the problem that needs to be solved. Who is the project design, for whom it is made? Okay. And what are the limitation, what are the requirements? These are some of the questions that an engineer will ask. I'm just giving an example of a smartwatch. So good designers will brainstorm. They will sit in as a team, and they will try to find out what are the what are the solutions that can be brought. This is the problem, this is the underlying condition, these are the people who are going to use it. So how do we solve it? So they will start a design, building a list of as many solutions as possible. So it is better to avoid judging the decision and let the ideas flow. So when we are sitting in a brainstorming session, we should not always think that whatever idea I am giving is the best one, whatever others are saying is not feasible. No, there should not be any kind of restriction put on the ideas. So there has to be a flow of ideas. So then research ideas. Third one, explore possibilities for your project design. So use the experience of others. As I said, don't let others become attacked, feel attacked. Let everyone give their ideas, and by researching past projects you can avoid trying to take and study what is the existing, for example, for smartwatch, what is already existing? Why are we here and sitting to discuss what has to be done in future, and see what is the difficulty faced in the already made project. And you should speak to people from various background, users, customers, what is their requirement. So I may be already using a smartwatch, but then why do I need again another one? We need to talk to the customers, right? And you may find some solutions that you might not have considered. Establish criteria and constraint. Having listed the solutions and determine the needs of project, the next step is to establish any factors that may constrain your work. This is done by revisiting the requirements and bringing together your findings from previous steps. So consider alternate solution. This is always important. Plan B should always be there. Even in personal life, we insist in having a plan B. So this is an engineering design process. Definitely you should have an alternate solution. So you may wish to consider alternate solution to compare the potential outcomes and find the best approach. Another reason why we need to have an alternate approach is that if you have 5 approaches, 5 solutions, we can compare and find out which is better. So this will involve repeating some of the earlier steps. Select a particular approach. Now sit and discuss which of the approach is best and select a particular approach and reject those that are not feasible, that don't meet your requirements. Be open to reject, not to think that others may be offended, or don't be in a dilemma whether to choose plan A or plan B, solution A or solution B. Be very clear in your solution, the one that you have chosen, and reject the others. So that is very important. Mm. Then develop a design protocol. So design proposal. Having chosen your approach, the next step is to refine and improve the solution and create a design proposal. This stage can be ongoing through the length of your project, even after the product had been delivered to the customers. Now make a model or a prototype. Use your design proposal to make a prototype that allows you to test. Unless you make a prototype, it is not possible to what? Test. If you want to test, you need to have a prototype. And prototypes are often made from different materials than the final version and are generally finished to a lesser standard. Test and evaluate. The next important step is to test and evaluate. Each prototyping will need testing, re-evaluation and improvement. So testing and evaluation allows you to see where improvements are needed. After that, refine the design. Once the testing is completed, the design can be revised and improved. The step can be repeated several times as more prototypes are created and evaluated. So finally, create the solution. After refinement, you have been successfully completed and tested. You can decide upon and create the finished solution. This may take the form of polished prototype to demonstrate. That is, you are going to keep a demonstration to the customer using this particular prototype that you are going to use. So communicate the results. This is the last stage. The last stage involves communicating your results properly to the end user. So how do we go about in that? This is in the form, this may be a form of report if it is understandable, or presentation, display board, or a combination of methods. So documentation allows your finished product to be manufactured to the required quality standards. So this is the engineering design process that is involved in. So there are totally 12 steps, and we have to do each and every step slowly and in a steady way, so that it is the end product is reliable product and the end user is happy with the product. Thank you. We will see the remaining concept in the next class.